Hello everyone, welcome to today's math lesson. It must be super important because there's 4 of me watching to make sure you do the whole lesson, which again, I'm sure you will. You will be learning about congruence and similarity, and those are kind of the same and kind of different, and so you're going to have to watch the video to learn about it. And then there is a little bit of practice, and then I show you a link to a game where you can actually do the practice live, where you get to click on and like zap things, which is kind of cool. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you do the extra practice, and have a great day. Bye. Hello. Similar and congruent. Similar has the same shape but may be a different size. Examples. Check out the squares, the triangles, and the circles. They look the same, they're even the same color, but they're different sizes. Congruent has the exact same shape and same size. I like to add that word exact and really stress it because it is so important that we understand that it's the exact same shape and size for congruent. So look at the examples. Notice how each of them are the exact same everything. Let's check out a video to learn some more before we have our practice.
Shapes can be alike. Alike means the same. Shapes can be the same size. Shapes can be the same shape. Two shapes that are the same size and shape are called congruent. Congruent means the same size and shape. Put two shapes on top of each other. Can the shapes fit exactly? If they match exactly, they are congruent. If they do not match exactly, then they are not congruent. Are these shapes congruent? They are the same shape. They are the same size. Yes, they are congruent. Are these shapes congruent? They are the same shape. They are not the same size. They are not congruent. Are these shapes congruent? They are the same size. They are not the same shape. They are not congruent. Are these shapes congruent? They are the same shape. They are the same size. Yes, they are congruent. Shapes that are the same size and shape are called congruent.
Congruent. Congruent.
Congruent.
For this, you will select the shapes that are congruent to the shape in the top box. It says to click, but since this is a video, you're unable to click, and you will pick them, and then I will show you what the correct choices were. Ready? You are matching to the purplish circle up in the top bar. Look for the ones that you think are congruent to it. and then push pause if you need more time. Ready? Did you pick those 4? They are the only 4 that are the exact same size and shape. Now, which are similar to it? Remember, similar means they may be almost the same, but not exact. Pick the ones you think, and ready? Did you pick those 6? One of them was smaller, but still very similar. Next one. Pick the shapes that are congruent to the blue square in the box at the top. Are you ready? Did you pick those 4? Next, you're looking for the ones that are similar to that blue square. Ready? Did you pick those 6? Next one. The triangle. The green triangle in the top box, match it to the ones below for if they are congruent. Don't forget, it's the exact same shape and size. Ready? Did you pick those 4? Okay, here comes the next one. You're looking for what's similar to that green triangle. You ready? Did you pick those 6? Remember, similar means kind of the same or pretty much the same, but not exact. All right, we're going to do one more set with the cream oval. Find the shapes that are congruent to that oval. Ready? Did you pick those 4? If so, you're really getting this. Okay, the next, you are looking for the shapes that are similar to that oval. Ready? There you have it. You can play a game similar to the video by typing congruent and similar shapes Shepherd software into Google. The game looks like that, but you get to click on the shapes as they bounce about instead of sitting still. Okay, we are going to have a bonus video now to show you congruency with more complex shapes.
Finding congruence in figures.
Okay, 2 figures can be congruent. What a marvelous concept.
Here are 2 figures. How might we determine if they are congruent?
Well, just by looking at them, we can see they might have the same shape, and they do seem to be the same size.
That's not enough though. We need to really determine if they are congruent. Let's do the slide.
If we slide this figure over to this figure, what happens? Ah, it slides right over and makes a perfect match. Guess what? We just determined that these 2 figures are congruent.
Don't stop now. Keep going. Yeah, that's right.
2 figures, 1 goal. Determine if they are congruent. What do you think? Try the slide again. No, they don't match each other perfectly. They don't have the same size and shape. We just determined that these figures are not congruent.
Hey, nobody's perfect. Those figures just weren't congruent with each other.
Take a look at these 2 figures. Are they congruent? Let's try our old standby, the slide. We don't get a perfect match. Let's slide it back, but we're not going to give up that easily.
Try rotating the first figure and see if that helps.
Rotating. That means turning the figure around like this. Now let's try sliding it over. Aha! Perfect match. These 2 figures are congruent. We determined that these 2 figures are congruent by first rotating one figure and then sliding that figure over the other figure.
Not bad. We've got two techniques to determine whether figures are congruent, sliding and rotating. We can use just one, or we can use them both.
How about these two figures? This one could be a toughie. Take a look and see what you think. Right away, it doesn't look like a simple slide will work. Let's try rotating one of the figures. Okay, now let's slide it over and see how it matches up. Not a match, folks. Let's slide that one back. We should give it another shot.
Try rotating it again, but this time rotate it in the opposite direction.
Okay. We rotated the opposite direction. Well, this is how the figure was at the beginning. Oh, what if we keep going like this? Now we rotated it in the opposite direction. Let's try the slide. A perfect match. These two figures are congruent. We determined that these two figures are congruent by rotating one figure in the correct direction and then sliding that figure over the other figure.
Let's learn something else about figures. They're lines of symmetry. Tree.
Finding congruence in figures.
Okay, two figures can be congruent. What a marvelous concept.
Here are two figures. How might we determine if they are congruent?
Well, just by looking